Hello and welcome to the next lesson, lesson 11 in the Google Sheets for Beginners class. Today we're going to be talking about working with different file formats, specifically CSV files and Excel spreadsheets inside of Google Sheets. Generally speaking, there are three main types of database slash spreadsheets that people work with. Excel spreadsheets, of course, since the beginning of time, CSV files, more or less since the beginning of time, and of course the new one, which is what we're working with, Google Sheets. But sometimes you may get a CSV file or an Excel sheet that you need to work with, and you're working with Google Sheets. How do you do that? Or vice versa. You need to save a Google Sheet as one of those other file formats to send to someone who doesn't work with Google Sheets. And that's what we're going to talk about how to do today. So first of all, let me jump out of the way. And we're going to jump over here. You see we're back in resources. Remember that link for the resources for class. That link is still valid, and I'll have it in the description below for this class as well. I'll probably just have it in the description for all of these lessons. But you'll see I've added two files since the first lesson. Now there is also a CSV test file and a test stu database Excel file. And you know it's Excel because it ends with the XLSX, which is an Excel format. So what you need to do in order to use these for this lesson is download those to your computer. So you can right click on that and click download to download it to your computer. Right click and then click download and download it to your computer, and then you'll have it available to use in our lesson today. So first of all, let's talk about CSV files. What is a CSV file? A lot of people don't know. A CSV file, what that stands for is comma separated value. CSV, comma separated value. And pretty simply let's just take a look at one of our spreadsheets, and that will be the best way to explain it. If we go to the student info sheet, so this is student info, which is at least visually here is separated by columns and rows. That's how that you know what's what, because the first column is student numbers, the next column is IDs, the next column is CIDs, and then each row is a different set of all of those informations for one person. Comma separated value is kind of the same thing, except it's just a list, a text list that has commas to separate each data point. So it would be 449, comma, 1478555, comma, and then this number, comma, 11, comma, F, comma, Riley Donna, comma. It's comma separated value. That's what CSV stands for. So it's a very generic file format, so it works. It's compatible with almost anything. You can open it inside of a text editor and read it in a text editor, as well as inside Excel spreadsheets or Google spreadsheets. So that's why you need to know that CSVs are used a lot when working with data with businesses. So let's talk about how you can add a CSV file to a Google Sheet. So let's go back over here to Drive, the main drive. We're going to have a new let's go here, and I'm going to go new. I'm going to say Google Sheets. We're going to have a new Google Sheets, and I'm going to say upload CSV. So this is someone sends you a CSV file and you need to get it into a Google Sheet. How do you do that? Well, you create your new Google Sheet, and then you're going to go to File, you're going to go to Import, and then you're going to find the CSV file on your hard drive. So that CSV file that was in Resources that I had you download, I need to find that. So I'm going to go to Upload, and I'm going to say Select from my device, which is my computer. Now it's not showing you this window. Let me turn that on for you so you can see this window. I'm going to go to Downloads, and there's that CSV test file right there. So I'm going to click that CSV test file. I'm going to click open. And you can see now it's asking me, do I want to create a new spreadsheet with this information? Or what's the separator type? Now with most CSV files, like I said, it's going to be a comma, but you can just generally leave it to detect automatically. Convert text to numbers, dates, and formulas. If a CSV file has numbers, you can import it as just text, or you can actually convert it to a number. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But for now, I'm going to say no. Just leave it as it is. Don't convert it to anything. We can do that manually, and we'll learn how to do that in a future lesson. And I'm going to say insert replace spreadsheet. So I want it to replace the data in the spreadsheet that I'm on right now, because I've already created a new spreadsheet, right? So I don't need to create a new spreadsheet. And I'm going to switch this display so that you get a better view of that. So you could create a new spreadsheet, so it would just automatically create a brand new spreadsheet for you. You can insert new sheet, so it stays in the same file, the same spreadsheet, but and it creates a new tab, a new sheet, and puts that information in there. Or you can replace the sheet you're on. Replace the spreadsheet or replace the current sheet, or you can append it, add it, or you can replace data at selected cell. So I'm going to say replace spreadsheet, detect the separator type automatically. Again, with a CSV file, generally it's going to be a comma. Occasionally, though, they might use another separator, so just say detect automatically. And then convert text to numbers, dates, and formulas. You might want to choose yes for that in some circumstances, but we're going to say no. And I'm going to say import data. And so it's loading up all the data in that sheet. And so you can see that sheet itself was just a sheet with school, comma, grade, comma, last name, comma, first name, comma on the first line. And the second line was 994, comma, 12, comma, Abbott, comma, Allen, etc., etc., etc. That's what a CSV file is. But we've now uploaded it, and now it's part of our spreadsheet. And we have a spreadsheet now that has this information on it, just like any other spreadsheet. And we can manipulate it. We can do all the stuff we could do with it with any of our other Google Sheets. We can now do with that CSV file. So that's how you upload a CSV file into a Google Sheet. Again, file, and then import, and then we could have, like I could have selected it from Drive because I have that CSV file in the resources folder already, but you can also upload it from your computer by going to upload and then select from your device. And then you just select your parameters that you want to use, and there you go. It's imported. Now what about the other way around? So let's go over to our student info sheet. Maybe this sheet is a big sheet. We need to submit this to something or someone, and the requirement is a CSV file. They don't accept a Google Sheet submission or a Excel spreadsheet submission. They want a CSV file. This is about as easy as it gets. You just go to File, and then you go to Download, and right there, comma, separated values. And then it says in parentheses, CSV current sheet. Now, keep in mind, this is only the current sheet. So it doesn't, CSV files don't have tabs with multiple pages or multiple sheets like you can have in spreadsheet software. So when you download a comma separated value, it's just this sheet. It's not any of these other tabs that I have as part of this sheet that we haven't really been using, but it isn't any of those. It's just the data that's in this sheet. So I say File, and then I say Download, and then I say comma separated value. There we go. Well, that was a really long delay. I don't know why that took so long, because this is a small sheet with not much data. But anyway, you can see student info, and save as file type. By default, it's saying Microsoft Excel separated values file, but the important thing is it's a .csv file. And you could rename it to whatever you wanted to, if you wanted to rename it. And then you just decide where on your computer you want to save it to. If you want to save it to documents, and you click save, and boom, Now you have saved that file, and you can see it saved right there. And that's a CSV file that you could now submit to whatever requires a CSV file. So that's CSV. So now let's talk about the other big format, which is Excel. We're going to talk about getting a Google Sheet to Excel and getting an Excel sheet into Google. First, let's talk about a Google Sheet as an Excel file. This is easy because we were just there. You might have seen it. If you go to File and you go to Download, number one option right there, Microsoft Excel. So any spreadsheet that you have in Google as a Google Sheet, any file, you can download as an Excel sheet. Now, in this case, because Microsoft Excel is spreadsheet software, you're downloading this entire file, not just this spreadsheet, just this tab. You can download the whole thing, the whole spreadsheet with all the tabs and all the info on the different sheets inside of this one spreadsheet file. So I'm going to go to Download, Microsoft Excel. Pops up the Explorer to decide where I want to save it to. You can see right there it's saving it as XLSX file, Microsoft Excel worksheet. Click Save. Boom. That's downloaded as an Excel sheet. I could now, on my computer, if I have Excel, or if I send this to someone else who has Excel on their computer, they can open this as an Excel spreadsheet. And it will open up in Excel just like you would expect any Excel spreadsheet to do. So really easy to download a Google Sheet as an Excel spreadsheet. Just download, and then choose Microsoft Excel. And boom, good to go. Now you can also import an Excel file into a Google Sheet. And so we're going to go back to this upload CSV that I had earlier. We're going to use the same spreadsheet to upload. And I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Import, and now I'm going to go to Upload, and then select File from my device. And I have one of those sheets. There we go. This is an Excel spreadsheet, and this is what I had in the resource. Oh, you can't see that. Let me make sure you can see that. So when I clicked, let's get out of here just so you can see, when I click select file from your device, it opens up that window, and I can choose the test database, which is the one that's in the resources file for you that I had you download at the beginning, and click open. And now it's going to basically read it, and you can see we have options here again: create a new spreadsheet, insert the new sheets, or replace spreadsheet. I'm going to say insert the new sheets. So if whatever spreadsheets are in this database spreadsheet, if there's 2 sheets, it'll insert 2 tabs, 2 sheets. If there's only one, it'll insert one. Whatever it is, it'll insert them into the current Google Sheets file that I'm in. But you could also create a whole brand new spreadsheet with this information, or replace the spreadsheet that you're on. So I'm going to say import data. And there you go. Now this looks a lot like the data before, except you can see that because this came from another spreadsheet, it's formatted. The other spreadsheet had headings that were bold, so these are bold. With CSV file, all your data is just basic text data. There's no formatting saved in a CSV file, it's just data. So in here, we could go in here and make these bold and do different things, but by default, a CSV file just imports raw data. But because this was an Excel sheet that we imported, it keeps the formatting. So you can see like this and this, these are right aligned. Then student name is left aligned, gender is centered, language fluency is centered, ethnicity code is centered. So yeah, you can see it kept all the formatting because this is a Excel spreadsheet, and Google Sheets speaks Excel spreadsheets language. It understands what centering and bolding and that kind of stuff is. So it's able to import all of that as part of it. So that's the easy way that you get and import a Excel sheet into your Google Sheet. Now we are going to talk about one other thing that you can do. This is a little bit more complicated. So You can, if you don't want to get any more complicated than that, this next part you don't have to know, but you can you can do everything you need to do with that. But this is another way that you can do it. If I drag, I'm going to turn this on. If I drag a sheet, so here is let's go. Yeah, that's a good place to be. So this is a Excel sheet here. I'm going to click that and drag it into Drive, whatever folder you're in, and drop it. And you can see it's uploading it. Now you can see that sheet is here, but you see it's still got the .xlsx. What that means is, yes, this is now part of my Drive, but it's not a Google sheet. It's still technically an Excel sheet. Now here's the fun part. I'm going to double click this to open it. And there you go. You see it's a sheet and I can still see the data and stuff, but it's still an Excel spreadsheet. Up here is a little button to open it with Google Sheets. And you have this drop down. I don't know what any of this other stuff is. Not important. You always have this, open with Google Sheets. So I'm going to click open with Google Sheets. Now what it's doing is it's importing it into a or opening it into a Google Drive for editing. But look here at the top left. You still have that tag XLSX. Now why is that? That's because within the last year Google added this feature so that you can actually edit Excel sheets in Google Drive without turning them into Google Sheets. This is still an Excel spreadsheet format, but I can edit it. I can type on it. I can change stuff, do whatever I want. I'm just doing random stuff now, and it's an Excel spreadsheet. This is not a Google Sheet. This is an Excel sheet, and that is indicated by the bold green XLSX format. So that allows you to open up an Excel spreadsheet still as an Excel spreadsheet inside of Google Sheets, inside of Google Drive. What if you want to change this into an actual Google Sheet? If you want to change it to an actual Google Sheet, then you go to File, and go to there it is. Sorry about that for a second. I couldn't see it. I'm not wearing my glasses right now. But that's not really a good excuse. I was just looking for Save As with an arrow to Google Sheets. And so I was looking for Save As, 2 words, not a big long word. It just has the whole thing right there because there's no other option. Save As Google Sheets. So you go to File and then Save As Google Sheets. And you click that. Now you have a new document. This document is a Google Sheet document. You can tell because there's no top left after the file name. There's no green Excel spreadsheet format indicator. Going back to that sheet still exists. See, this is still exists with the Excel format. This one does not have the Excel format. So again, I know that can be a little confusing, but just to break it down for you, when you drag a Excel sheet file into your Google Drive, it will save it into your Drive, but just as an Excel sheet. It doesn't convert it to a Google Sheet automatically. It leaves it as an Excel sheet. You double click it. It opens it in view only, but you click open with Google Sheets, and that opens it in Google Sheets, but opens it as an Excel file indicated by that green Excel box right there that says XLSX, Microsoft Excel format. So now you can edit it and save it. If you were to edit this and save it, it's saving it it would save it under this. It would save it right back as this, still that Excel file, but with whatever changes you made to it. And you can do that. But if you want to convert it to a Google Sheet and edit it as a Google Sheet, then you go to File and Save as Google Sheets. And that then opens it, saves it as a Google Sheet, converts it, saves it, and opens it for you to then work on as a Google Sheet. So that is how you do that. That's how you can get different file formats into Google Drive and into Sheets, and vice versa. You can take a CSV file that someone has sent you, import it into Google Sheets. You can take a Google Sheet you've been working on and save just the sheet. Remember, not the entire spreadsheet, not all the tabs, just the sheet of data you're on as a CSV file. And with Excel spreadsheets, basically, just you can go back and forth with the entire file between Google Sheets and Excel sheets. Keep in mind, you can use that import feature to import the Excel spreadsheet data into your Google Sheet as a Google Sheet. Probably the simplest way to do it. If you're working in a Google Sheet, you want to keep working in a Google Sheet. Or you can drag the Excel sheet into Drive. It'll remain an Excel spreadsheet. You can open it as an Excel spreadsheet in Google Sheets, edit it, save it. It'll still be an Excel spreadsheet. Or you can save as Google Sheets to convert it to Google Sheets. So those are the ways that you can get information up into Google Sheets from those other two file formats, or download information from Google Sheets into those other file formats, which just means that no matter what someone you're working with is using, you're able to work with whatever they send you, or you're able to send them whatever it is they need, which is the way it should be, right? We can all work together in harmony, which is great. Anyway, that's it for this lesson. I know that was kind of a lot, so maybe if you need to, go back and rewatch it. Again, as always, practice, practice, practice. Don't just run off to watch the next video. Spend the next day or so practicing this stuff and making sure you understand how it works before you move to the next video. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I'll do my best to try to get to comments and questions as quickly and often as I can to get you the answers you need. Don't forget to favorite this playlist to keep up with future lessons. Subscribe to my channel to keep up with all my videos if you want to keep up with other stuff that I do. And click that like button to show me some a little bit of love if you're enjoying the lessons or getting anything out of them. All right, that's going to be it until next time. So have a great day.